Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amber, would you please know board member and admin present? Or do a roll call again?
You want me to do a roll call?
What do we normally do? Just note them. Approval of agenda. Board, you have an agenda in front of you. I would entertain a motion.
I'll motion to approve the agenda.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion carries 6-0. Next up, we have approval of the minute meeting from the regular meeting, March 16th, 2026, closed session, March 16th, 2026, committee of the whole meeting, April 6th, 2026. B, we have approval of the accounts payable in the amount of $625,803.17 for the month of March 2026. Approval of the treasurer's report dated March 31st, 2026 with a balance of $8,280,342.67. Approvals and new hires.
We had resignations from Audrey Belanda, she was our communications coordinator, and then a resignation from Ian Kenyon, but then Ian came back, so he's also a new hire. And then we do have our retirement, and she's not in the room, but we're gonna give her a round of applause anyway, Julie Noel.
Thank you. Next up, we have community input. So is there anybody who signed up back there?
Agile.
Nobody, okay. Moving on, we have Galesburg City Council, Tony Tipkin.
Thank you.
What, that's tricky, like strong wood.
I see it.
I'm getting mine if you want.
There's one right here. Can you hear me? I don't think it's on.
Push the button.
Yeah, you gotta hold it for a second.
You're the lucky first one.
It's on now. There.
Yeah.
Okay, so there wasn't much updates. I did get some clarification with Dr. Newton about the whole tax stuff we're talking about with potential of the new neighborhood. The biggest ones we're trying to figure out if the school would collect the tax off the new neighborhood if the TIF went through. And it sounds like the only way that is on any tax that's not a debt tax, is what it sounds like from what I got clarified. And Dr. Newton said that the school does have a debt millage, so unless if it's a debt millage that the school would not collect off of if it would approve the TIF. So that's what I found out through that part of the brownfield TIF if the city approves that. The other thing that we did get clarification as far as they were talking about they were going to add in a crosswalk. So the city actually put in, like we suggested, that they just redo the crosswalks we currently have to make them safer. As far as relining, putting up more signs, and also like the lighting signs like they have right on M96 right now by Harding. So you press the button, the lights flash to indicate someone's crossing. So one would be down at where the cul-de-sac is now, and then the other one would be right across from the school. The two that are current there right there right now are the ones that we suggested that Alan Edwin redo those as opposed to put in a brand new crosswalk. It sounds like it's moving forward, but we still have to vote on that TIF, and they're saying it's dependent on that, which again, it's 47 houses, 3 or 6 duplexes, lots of households, lots of potential children to influx the school. So, other than that, I don't think there's any really other updates.
I did ask you the question about the fence going towards the high school with the railroad commission.
It looks like they might have
Literally like 2 days after I asked you that, I feel like it got mended a little bit.
I was going to say, the doctor, when I drove past it, I'm like, maybe Dr. Newton's phone call got something because it looks like it's someone got fixed. Because I noticed that as well, that it did get something done to it anyway. But yes, that is apparently found out. I knew that wasn't city property,
Right.
but I thought it was Amtrak, but it's actually like a Michigan Department of Train Rail that controls that. And it's been brought up many times, and they just haven't done anything with it. And then apparently there was another crash that took out a gate that's at the end of Beckwith. That is now, we'll see when that gets replaced.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Tony.
Yep.
We need to back up and approve the consent agenda.
Do you want me to turn this off?
Yeah.
Thank you.
We do that from time to time. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda. Oh, as presented.
I'll support.
Roll call vote,
Okay,
please.
sorry.
Smeltzer,
Yep.
Gillette,
Yes.
Horsey,
Yeah.
Jupe,
Yes.
Wilkes,
Yes.
Severstein.
Yes.
We're doing great.
Motion carries 6-0. Next up, we have the primary school student showcase. Ostanaco presentation by Doug.
Mr. Gartner's crew, let's come on up. Whoop, whoop. Yes, give it up. Yes.
All right, so we in third grade have been working on ostinatos, which are what? Raise your hand if you can tell us. Audrey?
Repeating rhythm.
Repeating rhythms in music. So I'm going to have each of them introduce themselves first to you.
My name is Leon Koda, and I'm in the phonetics class. My name is Jasper Hill, and I'm from Miss Bowen. My name is Emma Green, and I'm from Miss Bowen's class. My name is Kylie O'Donnell, and I'm in Miss Seamus. My name is Audrey Favors, and I'm in the Seamus class. My name is Wyatt Owens, and I'm in Miss class.
All right, and before spring break, we had a program with third graders, and they presented an All-American themed program for our 250th anniversary, which is in July. And they performed some ostinatos on bucket drumming. So they had 2 ostinatos. If you can clap and say ostinato 1 for us, raise your hand. Wyatt? Right? So it's ta, sh, ta, sh. And number 2, Emma? Right. And then they go ahead and play that with some music. So we're going to put on some music. Go ahead and pick up your sticks. And here we go. 1, 2, ready.
Thank you. Next up, we have artwork. Mrs. Westerhouse.
All right, could I have my 5 friends come on up with me, please?
Sticks, right?
If you guys want to use the microphone, let's stand over here on the side, maybe, so you can stand over here, so everybody can see. Let's come over here. Okay. So, every year the Kalamazoo Institute of Arts has the student art show. And so it's all the area schools. And according to the population of the school determines how many boards that I get to put together. So for the middle school, I get 1 board because I have just the 5th grade for art. And the primary, I get 4 boards because I have more students, about 400. So, so I have my 5 boards here, and I have a 5th grader, 4th grader, 3rd grader, 2 3rd graders, and a 2nd grader. I'm going to talk to you about the art that they learned about and that they created that I chose to put on the arts boards. So, can you speak up nice and loud? Come on up, Ian. Okay, so this is artwork right here, Art Tipkins artwork. So do you want to talk about it? Oh, a microphone. Perfect. Do you want me to hold it? Go ahead.
Try not to
Don't be
sing.
shy. Be proud of your work, girl. Want me to do it? Okay, hold the paper up. I'm going to pretend like I'm... Hi, Ariana Tipken. I am in 5th grade. In our class, we learned about pop artist Andy Warhol. My artwork is inspired by one of his prints. First, I traced my hand 4 times. Then I used watercolor paint to paint my hand using 4 different colors. Then I used watercolor paint to paint the background using 4 different colors. Finally, I painted my hand with tempera paint and made a handprint on top of my watercolors. So this is Ariana's work right here. So these are all 5th graders' artwork that we have done throughout the year. And I have 2 children's artwork that has the Andy Warhol. And then these were roller coasters that the 5th graders made. And I collaborated with the STEAM class because Mrs. Lantinga makes roller coasters with the 5th graders in STEAM. So I have 3 of those. And then I have 2 Aurora Borealis pictures. So, yay. Good job.
Very nice. Very nice.
Okay, next we'll have Sophie Pride. I gotta find hers. Right here. So this is one of the primary boards. This is Sophie's picture. Her artwork is right here. All right.
Hi, I'm Sophie Pride. I am in 4th grade. My artwork was inspired by the street artist Buff Monster. I used mixed media to create my melting misfit characters in my perspective art. My artwork shows foreground, middle ground, and background.
Nice work.
So Buff Monster, is a street artist in New York, and he does graffiti art legally. And I start the year off with it because the kids always love. Who remembers doing Buff Monster melting misfits, ladies down and gentlemen? See, yeah. All right, next, who's on here? Carly, you're up, honey. So this is Carly's artwork right here, the sunflower picture.
Hi, I am Carly O'Donnell. I am in 3rd grade. The artist we learned about the Impressionist artist Vincent van Gogh. My artwork was inspired by Vincent van Gogh's sunflower paintings. I used crayons to blend my colors for my sunflowers. I also used crayon for shading in the cast shadow.
Very beautiful.
That was a nice walk around. Thank you.
Yes. Okay.
Those moments.
That's quaint.
It's perfect. Don't kick your legs, honey.
So Nolan's artwork is down on the bottom. You want to point to it? Right there, the snowman at night. All right, here we go.
Hi, I'm Nolan Kurtz. I am in 3rd grade. My artwork was inspired by the book Snowman at Night. I used oil pastels to draw my snowman, snow and moon. I used yellow pastel to show the highlight the moon made on the snowman. I used blue pastel to show the core shadow on the snowman and for the cast shadow the snowman made on the snow.
Good job, buddy. All right, then we have one more. Oh, sorry, I didn't do the walk around.
He was like so good. Shadowing and everything's gorgeous.
It's so good. I wanted it in conference.
All right, so Sawyer is in 2nd grade. And his artwork is, you want to point to it? Right there.
Hi, I am Sawyer Pride. I am in 2nd grade. My artwork was inspired by Native American colorful corn. First I used a marker to draw the corn and husk. Then I used construction paper crayons to color the kernels of corn. Finally I used watercolor paint for a crayon and watercolor resist painting.
Just love all the colors and the options they have to utilize, which is wonderful.
Well, they're not going to stay.
We'll just go with it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys very much. You guys all did a great job. Next up, we have middle school student showcase, STEM board games, Den Harder.
Alright, so I have a group of 7th graders from my quarter 3 STEAM class. One of our units is on invasive species. Each student researched their own species and then as teams collaborated to create board games to educate their peers or their families when they bring these home on the species they've researched, the impacts it has on local ecosystems, and potential solutions. So we brought 2 games with us. Students had to create a game concept. They could be inspired by other board games or make up their own unique idea. They had to make game pieces, game boards. They had to make written instructions that someone could follow even if they weren't present. And these were 2 of the games that were highly rated by their peers as fun to play, easy to understand, and where they learned something about their species. So you want to start and tell us about your game, and then we'll go into what's it called? And what is it? What species?
It's about
What the nutria is? So what's your board game called?
Okay, our board game is called Waterland, and it's basically a game where you roll the dice, and then when you lay down to pick a card, you like lift up one of these things, and you answer the question to see if you got it right. And if you didn't get it right, you move back 2 spaces, and yeah.
What species did you make?
We did a red swamp crayfish. Yeah.
And then if you guys want to hold up maybe your game pieces and instructions, they all made very cute, unique game pieces with animals on them.
The
colorful one.
Anything else you want to add about your games?
That's good practice. Gotta break it down so high.
Thank you, guys. Next up, we have the high school student council presentation. Kayleen O'Donnell.
Great job, Miss Stenharder.
Good evening, everyone. We have kind of a small group with us this year. We have about 30 members in student council, though. But there's a big track meet tonight, so that's where a majority of our student council members are. I'm very grateful that these 5 made it out to help present to the school board. So I'll have Robert, our student council president, take it away.
Hello, hope your guys' day is going good. So on the, I think it's the third slide.
Third slide, I'm on it.
Yeah, so third slide we're going over the mission and vision of student council. So the mission of student council is to advocate for the student body, bridge gaps between students and staff, foster leadership, and to promote positive school culture for students, staff, and administration. The vision of student council is to create a fun and positive school culture where all students can be heard. Next slide is what all we have done this year. This year's student council. Underclassmen have been stepping up, and 8th grade student council members have been very active at the middle school, getting ready to come to the high school. We anticipate many student council members for the 8th grade. We have been surveying peers during flex time to make student voices heard. Positive reflections that we have gotten back is no fighting, nicer upperclassmen, increased feelings of connection and inclusivity, great homecoming and snowcoming, including the pep assembly and spirit days. And we have 3 foreign exchange students this year at the high school, and all 3 have been a part of the student council and have made a positive impact on it.
Hi, I'm Addison. I'm the chief of spirit at the high school. And the events that we've put on are snowcoming. And we did see like a decrease in the attendance because we didn't have school a lot of that week. But I still thought it was pretty fun. And then the homecoming assembly, we played a lot of games and everybody said it was very long, but I think they enjoyed it. And we also did Parents Night Out as a fundraiser. We did it twice, and we had pretty good results both times. And we also did Tattoo Teacher, and you can see Dr. Newton on the slide. And that was also a very good fundraiser, and it was fun.
Hi, I'm Lexi. I am the secretary, and I'm going to talk about funds. So, for our homecoming, we didn't have a great turnout. We spent a lot of money. That's okay. And then snowcoming, we did make some money back. But since we didn't have a lot of turnout because of the snow days, it didn't help there. And then the Parents' Night Out, we did make a total of $385. And the bake sale, $49. And then Tattoo Teacher, we made $114. And then we had some other expenses at the bottom. So, yeah.
Hi, I'm Charlotte Lochner. I'm the Vice President of Student Council. And last year's presentation, we asked for more help from you guys for the attendance challenges, as well as more chaperones to help with dances. We asked for some more teachers for electives, and if we could have a field trip fund for the high school. Before last year, we had asked for new drinking fountains and furniture, and we would like to thank you for the new drinking fountains and for starting to make way and advocating for new comfortable desks and chairs. And we appreciate you guys' help with dances and approving funds to support our attendance challenges.
So this is a student survey that we sent out during lunch. I think it was like last week or 2 weeks ago. The first question is, how well do you feel student council represented your voice this year? 3.69 out of 5 students felt like their voices were heard. It was the average. Okay, sorry, out of 5. It was the average. Question 2 is, how satisfied were you with school-wide events and activities this year? We got 3.05 out of 5 as an average for that question. For question 3, how much do you feel the school improved overall this year compared to last year? Our response is 2.6 out of 5 as our average, so that is something that we should definitely focus on next year. Our fourth question is, what kind of school or district-wide events would you like to see more of next year? And we got a lot of responses, and we mostly saw more dances and fun assemblies. And when they say fun assemblies, I think more geared towards like the engagement of like doing games and stuff. And then question 5 is, what's one area where you felt the school could improve, or what specific suggestions do you have? Responses is food changes at lunch and more fun engagement activities.
Hi, I'm Taylor Nash. I'm one of the 11th grade representatives. Our slideshow is We Need Your Help. Continue incentive for attendance and achievement challenges. Support for peers, mentoring, or freshman transition programs. Outdoors / courtyard improvements. Approval of student morals for the hallways. Support for student communication platforms / apps.
Shout again, and next year we plan to host more fun events for our student body. That's more things like pep assemblies and also outside of school events. We wanted to plan more strategically for conversations with peers and meetings with admin. We wanted to map out the school year so we can plan more events and have more fundraisers without stacking everything on top of itself. We wanted to send the executive board to a leadership conference, which this would mean we would need to fundraise in order to be able to send our people there. We could also host a student council conference here. And we wanted to prioritize committees within the student council to up the effectiveness of our meetings and reach more people throughout the entire school. More people. And then we wanted to try to incorporate the elementary and middle school more in all of our events, as well as with Spirit Days. And we wanted to get more participation from these younger kids in the district activities.
Thank you very much for your time, and that's all we have for you today. Have a great day.
Thank you, guys. Next, we have the superintendent update.
And at this time, if you want to go eat dinner on time, you may go ahead and exit if you were here for a presentation. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Okay, so just to discuss a little bit of budget, some of the things I've been looking at with our virtual program that we started. I had 6 baseball games this weekend. That's why my voice is like this, so forgive me. But in 24-25, when we started our virtual programming, our revenue of that was $61,000-ish, and then our expenses were $20,000. As we went into this school year, our revenue was $479,000, and then our expenses were $81,000. So we see that we are serving a lot more students this year, and we are trying to get a projection of where we're going for the 26-27 school year. We plan on having our school of choice window open here in the beginning of May through August, and so we're going to plan on marketing virtual this year. We have not done that in the past. It's been more of any of our students are wanting to leave to go to another virtual program that we reached out and said, hey, we offer this. But as we were building it, we were trying to assess what we could gain capacity on. So that's just a little bit with our budget there. I think we have some other agenda items down the road that I'm planning on discussing to support that. For our facilities and bond, we are still working on our facilities master planning. I have a meeting here coming up in the end of April with Frank, our facilities director, and Sean Sportel, who helps with our facilities management on my end. And we have a draft. We've got a good draft. I'm going to use a few AI resources that were shared with me at a conference to upload many other districts' facility plan to just see what alignments are in most facilities plans, and then assess what it is that GA needs to update that individually. So that should be coming. My goal is by July 1st to get that finished. So that's still my game plan. For the bond communication, we have another mailer going out here in the next 2 weeks. We have Bus Appreciation Day coming up on the 28th of April, so we're planning to do communication for that. And then a couple days before the bond, we are doing all of our infographics. We're going to put them on one post and get them out there so we can share that one more time with our community. Staffing, we are having mindful conversations right now regarding scheduling and what courses are needed and what shared staff we have to have and what those schedules look like. We're also having discussions around class sizes, what our philosophy is on those, which ones do we need to refill and which ones do we need to remain the same. No big decisions in that. We're just keeping a mindful eye on that at this time. Our front office staff, Audrey, that left, we have delegated those tasks out to Amber Couch, Jane Spencer, and Amanda Ellis at this time to help maintain our admin office. It seems to be a good system so far. We will assess that and what that workload looks like in the next coming month and a half or so. But that is still, we're afloat. Other things coming up, we have lots of events that we're planning for in the administration office. Our end of the year awards for the high school. We are looking at graduation coming up on the 21st, ramping up on the 21st, and then our end of the year luncheon, which you are all invited to on June 2nd from noon to 2. That's going to be in the multi-purpose space this year. And then you have your list of events that we have for the remainder of the year as well.
Next up, we have business items for discussion. 2027 senior trip options, Teresa Shepard, Sarah Baker.
Multitasking.
Is there anything you need me to project?
Back saving. There you go.
Right. Okay, so first, just so you guys know, we started with these guys last year. Started with like 100 places that they wanted to go, and some of them were like on the other side of the world. So we scaled back over time and over time. So it may still look a little crazy to you. It may still look a little crazy to you, but know that this is after like 12 surveys and more meetings, trying to bring it down some. So
Yes, we are proposing 3 options so that the kids can see what is available to them and then vote again on them.
You can pick it up and hold it.
We need to be able to hear you guys for the record, so please.
Okay,
Sorry.
our first proposal is to Tennessee. I will be honest, this is the last choice for the kiddos. They all feel like everybody goes there, but that was their third option. I believe you guys have all of the paperwork, right? Okay, perfect. We've talked like pros and cons of this. The pros are domestic, and it is the cheapest option. The cons is the cons is that there is low interest. I'll just try to project. Okay. The second one is our most expensive option, which is Florida. You will see that there are 2 price packages. One is all-inclusive, and then the other one is including less of the meals. And also airfare for this one and our next option is approximate because we can't book the flights for 6 months prior to the trip. So that would be Florida. And a day trip to Cocoa Beach. So it'd be the beach one day, and then something else over there. And I think these are 3 parks.
Yeah.
throughout the trip. And then don't call us crazy. The last one, it is the favorite, the cruise. We have, we have 3 options in there. It is the cheapest. I know it's also the scariest because we are in international waters. We are in foreign countries. I think that the pro of these for everybody is that there's more supervision on these trips than any of the other trips because they're not allowed to go anywhere without supervision. It's also the cheapest. The con, I think we said, was just the distance, and obviously being in international waters and foreign countries. Again, the airfare is approximate because we can't book until I think it's December.
You will see that there's 2 Florida options and 3 different cruise options. Prices obviously in there. Let's see.
So some of the trips, the amount's quite a bit higher than it's been in the past. What are you guys doing or helping the kids do to sustain getting that money?
So we were looking at that as well. We have a lot of fundraisers planned. We've got 2 meals coming up. We have the talent show this week. If you guys are interested. We have sold beef sticks. We're going to come up with t-shirts. So we've got new designs for that this year. Those will be individual, like to their individual funds. We're going to do bottle drive.
The basket sales.
So how many fundraisers are you doing that go right to their individual funds?
Their individuals. The rest of this year, we have the t-shirts this year. Everything else is group. And then next year, we will have more individuals.
We have done a couple this year already.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that the highest raiser right now is at $380. So, if they are trying, it's definitely doable. No, that's fine. We also the big events like our talent show, the Cinco de Mayo, our bottle drive. If students volunteer for that, they would also get a portion of the proceeds that go to their individual account, and then the rest would go towards the whole trip in a whole.
You guys are knocking it out with fundraising.
We're trying. We go to every football game. We try to go to every event possible. I don't know. That's all we do all the time.
Feel like I have questions.
Yeah.
Okay. Discussion.
Concerns? I know there's got to be concerns.
I'll just start out. I know there's a lot of concerns about the cruise. I've had phone calls from parents, from other board members. It also directly goes against some of the policies and stuff that we have in place after some of the senior trips in the past where, like, for example, for the cruise, you have to have a chaperone in the room. That goes against the policy or the handbook that chaperones are not to stay in a room with students. So I would say for me that would be a big no for that reason alone, not to mention that a lot of parents are fearful about being able to drink in the foreign countries. I know that you said they have to have chaperones, and I'm sure it would be a lot of fun, but it's just a lot of issues.
I have a question. Sorry.
Yeah.
I have a hold on. There. Okay. So you guys sent out that parent survey, and I'm just wondering what kind of feedback you got from parents about it. I asked a handful of parents, and there wasn't great feedback. So I'm just kind of curious about the cruise.
I did not bring my computer with me because it's at school, but I believe that I would say 3/4 of the responses that we had were okay with the cruise.
Okay. Where can I go?
Or can I go?
Yeah.
How much is it and can I go? So, I mean, again, we brought to you what the students asked us to. So it's fine if you say no, it's your guys' choice, which is why we're here. We're here advocating for them. This is what they wanted to do. So when we go back to them, we'll say, hey, this is what the board said.
Because.
Or right, and this is why, or we need to try again, right? That's why we're here to make that decision. So don't feel bad that you don't agree, because it's not on us. Like we don't, we're doing what they directed us to do. So we're not upset if you don't agree with it. It's fine by us too. It is what it is.
And that's why
Like,
we're bringing
it's not-
3 options.
Right, like just to be clear, like it's not a. It's fine if you say no. It makes it easier for us to go back and say, hey, the board said no, not just us. So, and this is why. These are your reasons. So, but we have to bring it to you guys. So,
I just want to make sure that we are saying that the board said no and why the board saying no.
Absolutely.
Okay, because I mean the handbook and the policies are huge, right? Like that's why we're here.
He's over here too.
I did have a question.
stand by the door. Somebody let me know.
In regards to the airfare.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna yell. In regards to the airfare, have you guys researched that lately, or did that come from the travel company? Because
When we looked it up, the travel company. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I just booked tickets to Florida and they were outrageous.
This is what when we called the air like lines themselves, we said, hey, we're gonna have probably 30 to 50 kids. What they say, and they said, okay, well, we were gonna quote you 6 months from now. It would be this, but we can't tell you that far ahead because blah blah blah. We did get a group rate because there'd be a large number, but it is just really what they kind of give as an estimate of.
I was told it's up because of the war.
Yeah, and we were too. So we'll be watching it for a while. Obviously, if we do end up flying somewhere, we have a year to get to that point, but we still are just kind of watching and waiting. And again, we gotta get to figure it out first. Where we're
I was
gonna
just
go.
kind of making sure they were telling you the same thing I was kind of hearing too. So.
Yeah, that's what we heard too.
Do you guys have anything to add?
The only thing I was going to add, I'm not sure if this is on, probably not, was just again, talking about the cruise, obviously the policies, but
Sarah, you gotta talk into this because we're recording.
tried it, wouldn't come on.
Hold it for a second.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, it keeps breaking on me. Along with the idea of the cruise, obviously the policies are a big thing, but just with everything else that's going on as well, we have no idea a year from now what the security and safety options would be, which when you go to international waters and there's things going on in the world, a year from now that could be completely taken off the table. And I hate to plan for something that we have to then scrap 9 months from now because the world does what the world's going to do. Where
Super valid concern.
domestically, I think we can kind of anticipate a little bit better. So
we talked about that as adults, but they looked just like, you're ridiculous. So this is what we said. So
I think it would be a good best practice, and this is just a discussion tonight, no decision tonight. However, it would be nice to have the kids, maybe we could pull up the board policies for them. They could kind of search, they could understand, they could learn a lesson from this opportunity to, okay, what things do I need to research if we do want to do something like this? It's a really good learning opportunity.
So it sounds like everybody is okay with Florida or Tennessee for them to take back. Like we don't have an item on here to vote for this, so I just want to give you guys information to take back.
Right, because if it's a hard no, there's no point of us like coming back another time and asking, right? Like we'd rather come back the next time and say, okay, we found another in the country one, and right instead of, and so we're gonna try this because we do know that they're like kind of anti going to Tennessee, so we're a little concerned we would have a very low amount of kids want to go. So
I would say it's a hard no unless somebody else interrupts me right now.
Well, at this point, it doesn't go with our policies that are put in place for safety.
On a positive note, I do have all of this stuff from, I don't know her name, but the lady who used to plan the Florida trip. If you guys want, Patty, I have all of that information if you guys want any of it.
Yeah, I have it also.
Yeah, access to all that. Perfect, thank you.
Thank you guys
to go
for
on that
coming.
trip.
Sounds like a fun one.
I remember how, yes, you did. Actually, I just found a postcard today. I don't know why that's in there.
Thank you guys for doing all the stuff you do for those kiddos.
And thanks for planning early.
Yes.
We're trying.
You're not making me do it.
I don't know how to work it.
Just turn it off, you guys.
I did.
Throw it on the stage.
Good job.
Okay. Thank you, ladies. Next up, we have district data update.
I could hold this for you, like 3 seconds.
I'm afraid of this thing too, so.
That's everybody in their.
Hi, I'm Heather Leslie, part of the district data team. And Dr. Newton just asked us to come tonight to kind of update you on our middle of the year, what we call our winter testing.
We do need you to talk to the microphone because we have a recording that goes out. She turned it off though.
Oh.
You have to turn it on.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Just hold it.
Nope, that's okay. I don't even know how to turn it on. I am not a button on the top. There it is.
Got it?
Yeah.
Vivian. See, we're all always learning, right? Love it.
No, do not hold it in my face. Thank you. So just to clarify, did they receive a copy of this before?
They have, yep.
Okay. All right.
Yes, thank you.
So like we did before we came in November, we kind of shared that out, and hopefully you guys had some time to dig into that data and let us know if you have any questions on that. Unless there's any immediate questions on it. I did just kind of pull some of the things. We met as our district data team once a month throughout this whole year, which is very consistent. We even celebrated it at our last district meeting. We also were able to provide the district as a whole with some PD on our NWA assessment process, which is kind of from, I think, kind of the vision from this point would be kind of what to update you guys on as we go forward. We have a lot of pieces of data that we obviously use to drive our instruction and form our tier 2 supports and things like that. But maybe from the district perspective, we're going to kind of focus on that NWA. Yeah, yeah, because we give that assessment 3 times a year, K-10 in both reading and math. So it's kind of exciting. And we met to meet every month. So that thing there is the cadence data, so that you really don't have to concern yourself with. Leslie and I do meet weekly on that data to help drive, again, our tier 2 math, or our tier 2 ELA support in the middle school. That's a K-8 assessment. So the district does also give the Delta screener as a form to drive our tier 2 math instruction. So that was in there.
I have a question on the data. Are any of these changes like seasonal or expected versus things that, I mean, like for a lot of this data, the middle of the year, it seems to kind of trend lower and then it gets better at the end of the year.
Yeah, so it depends on the assessment that you're looking at. Like Acadians, for example, we actually get different measures throughout the year. Like we don't get the same kindergarten assessment at the fall that we give in the middle of the year. It's a progression of skills. And like first grade oral reading fluency always dips low because our first graders get to make a ton of growth throughout the year, and in January they're still trying to get on that train. So it really just depends. Like if you have specific questions, I would love to chat about them. And then Delta, the Delta data that we do look at, those are assessing the prior year's standards readiness. So as a district, we're trying to figure out how to beef those up, make those stronger, so that then we can start to intervene on grade level data. But there's some beautiful data.
And Delta is for our
year,
math.
Yeah, Delta is
Yep.
math.
And Acadians is for reading. Yeah,
So,
it's,
and
you
then-
think it's the same test in the beginning as in the middle, but because they're assessed on different skills at that point, that's why it's different.
For reading. The math is the same standards. Delta is the same standards in the fall, beginning of the year, middle of the year, end of the year.
That definitely helps us understand.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, yes. I live, breathe, and eat data, so I'm glad you guys don't. Or if you want to, I'm always available. So, and those were just the primary data. The Delta was just primary data. If you're really interested, we do have Delta is given K-8. And then there's
these
two.
open?
Yep, the two in there are the NWEA, which is kind of where I pulled just a few things. So I think what you're looking at is the district profile report for the fall, for reading and math. And it does give you a little spiel up at the top there. It'll tell you The cool thing about when we look at it as a district is it is like live data, so we're able to click in and look at groups and cohorts and kids that have not made adequate growth as opposed to kids who do need adequate growth. And so even though we are looking at it through that district lens, my goal is always to drill down to that independent level and make sure kids are moving.
That's awesome.
Like they need
Which
to.
is what we're having conversations on with teachers currently of how to set goals with students. Oh, shush.
Don't steal it.
You're welcome, Melissa.
So I did just pull a couple highlights just in case your data brain is not on, or it's not like mine and it doesn't. So this is the first year we've given it to 9 and 10. But at the high school, our highest achievement was our 10th grade reading. Like out of the whole, like when I looked at achievement data, K10, 10th grade reading was, which means we're kind of moving in that right direction, right? Just from a big lens. That's where we would hope to see a lot of that growth. Like the things that are in place are working. And the highest growth percentile was 9th grade reading. So when you look at that instruction that those students have had, their percentile growth, when you compare it to normative growth, was the highest for our district. Sorry, I'm out of breath now.
You're fine. It's exciting.
In the middle school, our highest achievement and highest growth was 5th grade reading. So it kind of blends to some of that work that as we transition kids to the middle school, they're still picking up those skills and doing the things they need to do. I probably should, now that I say that, I probably should have started at the primary and went up, but I didn't. I went backwards. And so the primary highest achievement just for this winter testing was 2nd grade math. That's always exciting to see because our math tiered supports is something we're definitely building towards making more proficient. And then our highest growth was also 2nd grade math. And I think that is all I was going to say about that. But we do have an upcoming PD on Wednesday.
So we started the year off with just standardizing our test taking procedures so everybody was on the same page. Myself, so that's
I know, it's
perfect. So we wanted to get that all off on the right foot at the beginning of the school year. And now with the past few staff meetings and PDs, we are focusing on motivating our students. And all the teachers have taken at least 5 to 7 students and met one-on-one and looked at their past scores, and they're setting goals with students now. We standardized the sheet, and the sheet is going to be used K through 10th grade. So everybody across the district is doing the same thing, and they're setting goals. Some of them, I think they have like a graph on it so they can chart their progress, which I know my age kids really love doing that, but it's fun to see your growth.
To see it live, yeah.
I don't know if you had anything to add on that. That was kind of the goal you had.
No, it's just we just really haven't looked at data. We haven't looked at data from that lens before of K-12 and what are our goals and how do we goal set, and having kids take that ownership. And I think that's the biggest piece is once we're all speaking the same language, we'll be able to look at the data together.
I have a question.
Yes.
So I know you guys are setting goals and you're looking at last year's data too, you said, right?
Yes.
Okay. So do you think this is a curiosity question? Wow. It's a curiosity question. Are we past and I know this doesn't apply to all these grades, but past some of that COVID deficit we had before? Have we I know that was a goal previously, so have we surpassed that and gotten back on track?
So I think for the first time since I've been at GA, at the end of this year, just based on our Acadians data, we will have what is considered norm data, where the goal would be 80% of your kids would be proficient in their literacy skills, and then you would tier support that the other 15%, and then you would tier 3 support that other 5%. If you're looking at a generalized view, and we're there. So in my mind, yes, our COVID data was going to be really good, just so you know. That fall that we didn't get to take that assessment kind of killed me a little bit. But And I could definitely look into that a little bit more and give you a concrete answer, but my gut tells me that yes, that this is the first time we're going to see some of those 80% since I've been a part of GA. So.
And in the past, we have accelerated the interventions and really it was very precise. And now that we've kind of slowed down and we can take time, and they're further than, like, for example, we didn't have anybody in first grade have to go back and do the alphabet skills this year. So that was great.
Awesome. Yeah, there's lots of people putting in lots of work, and it's really fun. And the kids too, they love it too. So. Any other questions?
No, just thank you. Like, that is fantastic, and all the things that you were doing.
Thank you for staying passionate.
Just, yes,
That's
go ahead
good.
and leave it. Yeah.
Leave it?
Thank you.
Thank
you
you.
guys so much.
High school elective proposal.
Yeah, so I wanted those high schoolers to stay so they could hear we do have a bunch of new electives for you next year. But they all left. Oh, there's one. Spread the word. You got it? Okay. No.
Video.
Yeah. So I just didn't know if you had any questions. I know it's about discussion. I kind of came to the cow and reviewed some of these. The only major update I would say is meteorology and climatology. I had sent an updated, remember Mr. Marshner was kind of waiting to hear back from a teacher from Parchment who was retiring. He had taught that elective when he interned with this person. He got a bunch of information back and I got it to Amber.
Oh, wonderful.
So that's a little bit more thorough this time. And then the other piece with PALS, I talked to Ethan Alexander. You'll remember we're working to still run that course without the grant, but our grant has been moved forward in the process. So it's not a sure thing, but we're very hopeful. That grant is a partnership with Parchment, and then we're working to run that class to remember that's the one that's more mentorship than in the middle school and the elementary. And then also building mental health awareness in the high school on Tuesdays and Thursdays in a face-to-face setting. So
They mix the class.
do you want to hear the classes?
No, I was wondering. Oh, I'm sorry, we can't take questions from the audience, but I
I'll
would
talk
like
to you
to list
after.
them for.
Yep. So we're building out our pathways as well. This is coming up through strategic planning, but 2D art, 3-dimensional art, and advanced art. So we already have that intro to art class. Our science elective, meteorology and climatology, and then 2 psych courses, intro to behavioral health sciences, and that one's a semester, and then abnormal behavioral health is also a semester. Mythology and PALS. Mythology is pretty full. We also approved drones last year. We're doing some targeted recruitment for kids because we talked about how whoever's teaching it often sells that elective. So we're in the process right now. Ms. Stanton is surveying students to get them to sign up. Ms. Root is coming to the middle school on Wednesday to recruit our 8th grade STEAM kids to get interest for the drone class. So they have great tight STEAM programming here at the middle school, and she thinks she can get a lot of interest there. So.
Does anybody have any questions? So while we have an audience and for our minutes, I would just like you to, we talked last meeting about the cost and who would be teaching. Can you kind of say like, it's not gonna add a cost to it?
Nope, it's not gonna add a cost. We've been doing some balancing to look at current levels of like how many students are in each course. I think off the top of my head, we're running 1 health class instead of 2, which frees up psychology for Ms. Neal, and we're running that through her health certification. And then mythology is an added English elective. We have space for an elective. In the past, it's been creative writing. It just hasn't been highly attended. This one is garnering a ton of interest. So it's just giving kids different options, and so that we can cycle through some options. And then art, still the art teacher. And then we had room for a science elective because we had previously run anatomy very low, less than 5. So it just wasn't worth to run that one. I think we have about 9 or 10 kids interested in that one. And then the PALS, we're just doing some movement of some staff to kind of figure out that piece, but it's not any added staff members that aren't employees of GA.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Next up, we have strategic planning update. Newt.
We have been in cahoots with Building International, and they helped us create a template for our strategic plan. The administration team was able to sit down and thoroughly look through that. There's a lot that we like, and there's a lot that we want to change. We don't feel our voice was completely heard in that process, so we invited them back tomorrow morning to be able to sit down and hear us again, so that we can ensure that that strategic plan captures what our teachers were voicing out, what our board and then community really is trying to say. So trying to get away from some buzzwords and really stick to the language that our community has spoken.
Very good.
Thank you. Bond update.
I gave you the bond date up already. We have 2 weeks and 1 day.
Policy updates, the second reading. Sarah.
Making sure this is on for me. All right, so I had a conversation with Chris Weiss today and got some more information. So I feel like I got some answers to some of the questions we had in our last one that I just kind of wanted to share with everyone. For the most part, there's no decisions to be made on any of these. So I know that was a question we had. I went through it with him. Anything that comes through that can be pulled from a previous one, he will pull. So if there's ever a decision, it will be highlighted in green for us. Otherwise, if that decision exists, unless he's told otherwise, he'll pull it through. So just moving forward, that's kind of how that step's going to roll. I highlighted the ones that had questions for him. The only thing that we need to clarify on is that we have 3 or 4 policies that talk about the compliance officers, and they don't all match. So I just need to report back to him for sure what we want those to be because there was a change. One is the primary school principal, and then he says he believes it used to be the compliance officer, but that he was told to change it to the special education supervisor. He wants to make sure that he knows what we're doing because they should all be the same, unless we have a good argument.
Special education.
Okay, so I just need to get that information to him so he can move forward with that. And then his only other note that he wished me to bring was PO 5336, which is the diabetes policy, that he just wanted us to understand that we do not have to do that. It's not necessary. That our medical policy we already have, which I lost the number for, does cover that, but this is a more detailed, specific one that he'd recommend doing, but we don't have to do it. So that's all the notes he had for me, but I did go through all of them, sat down with him. There was no other decision to be made, and then we have a good system now going forward of knowing for sure when we need to make a decision and what that will be. So he says these are ready to go as long as I confirm with him those compliance officers from his point of view. That's all.
Beautiful.
Does anybody have any feelings on the diabetes policy?
It's up here if you guys want to look at it. It's to provide clear guidance so that all diabetic students receive required physician-ordered care at school, including blood glucose, ketone checks, insulin administration, oral medication, that staff is trained to administer medication and permits authorized student self-care and requires informing parents about a possible 504 plan for those students.
And he had marked on there option 1. I think you had emailed me option 2. So
we do not have a nurse.
Yeah, so that's why he said option 1.
Okay.
So that's why he marked that student as a nurse. So.
Does anybody have any questions on the policies? Just for the audience, these are all basically legal changes and number changes. Okay. Then moving on, we have the transportation agreement. Dr. Newton.
Okay, so over the last year, we've seen some ongoing challenges with our transportation reliability and consistency. It's been impacting our students, it's been impacting our buildings, it's been impacting my workload, it's been impacting our families. So we've been monitoring that closely and looking at different ways and different opportunities to be able to meet the needs that we have high expectations of. I began some conversations back in November when I attended a conference with a different vendor and was able to really get some itemized conversation going around what we would spend, what we would pay out, what we are paying out for, and was able to get some answers to some questions that I've had over the last 2 years that I wasn't able to get prior to. So I have sent the board, I've had conversations with you regarding an agreement in front of you, and I just ask that you consider that agreement and moving forward with a different vendor.
Does anybody have any questions?
I have a couple questions. I looked through the, I don't know if the agreement was in the packet, but I saved it from when it was handed out.
It's been updated since then.
And it looks like what they did was, they had a spreadsheet where they listed all the various items and then it came to a grand total.
Gary, yes.
At the end, yeah. I added that stuff all up and I came up with a number that was $2,000 difference, which is not huge, but I don't know. But the first thing that struck me was because there are a few contingencies built into this that are unpredictable, the question that came into my mind is whether we should, this is definitely less than what we were dealing with before, is that correct? On a cost basis.
You've got both agreements and both numbers.
Quite a bit, actually. So what I was wondering is whether we should do two things. One is to build a contingency in there based on unknowns that are going to happen or could happen. And the second thing was whether we should put a dollar cap on it with those contingencies so that we don't pay more than that number, whatever that number is. So it's risk on both sides. We could end up,
So to address that, I had those same wonders. There's guaranteed what we would pay in the first 2 years in this agreement. And so I had conversation with the vendor having questions such as, okay, well, what happens when we get our agreement and there's a 9% increase like that? We have to be able to be predictable in the next 5 years in order to, make mindful decisions. So in partnership with the vendor, they have been in great conversation of, okay, I'm going to send you back the agreement and we're going to, in year 3, 4, and 5, agree to this percent increase, and this percent, not to exceed that. So, same thought process on that. I don't want to, we change vendors and all of a sudden it skyrockets. So we are in the next 5 years in great conversation with the difference in this conversation with financials of this vendor is everything is transparent, everything is a dollar amount, everything is itemized. And in the other agreement, I get a bus route and it's this cost. And then sometimes when I ask why, I don't get answers. When I want to know how much this person makes or how much we're paying for these drivers or for this position, or are we getting, what are we paying for this mechanic? What are we paying? I'm not getting answers. So the difference in this conversation is that it's very transparent.
Okay, but again, I'm throwing this out as a question of possibility as to whether we want to. These numbers are not bad as I look at them, but if something really crazy happens, and all of a sudden, we're looking at another 200,000. That's the only reason I'm throwing that out there is because there are contingencies built in. So.
I guess I'm not clear as to how to answer that question other than what we see in front of us is what we are predicting our routes are going to be. It's predicting what we're going to pay our drivers. It's predicting what we're going to pay the administration office of the transportation department. So it's all very predictable. Now, is that going to be a potential rate, difference of $500 or $50,000? It could be, depending on if we have to add a route or we get 200 more kids. Those variables are in there, but funding also comes with that.
The single biggest thing that I saw in here that could impact that is they made an allowance for increases in healthcare costs. And, everything is going crazy, and that's, to me, was the single biggest thing that became a variable, not so much anything else, but that one in particular.
I did talk with Philip, Jane, and our vendor. Can you grab that, please? Today about the healthcare, and we put a stipulation as this is how much we can afford, and so we're going to have those discussions with the packages that are opportunity. A lot of those are reliable on how many hours those drivers have as well. So,
well, and I think a lot of your question, Gary, comes from the overall financial input from anything. And I think that's why we have the percentage we're always trying to maintain in case something happens. And that's anything in busing, anything with teaching, anything can change, right? So we can prepare as much as we can like we have. with everything that you've brought together, but that's why we have to maintain a fund balance like we do for those incidentals. Just anything can happen. So yes, I think you missed one of our meetings we had that when you were sick that went over a lot of this detail. But I appreciate all that work and time you put into that for that transparency.
What questions might the board have?
Does anybody have any questions? So we did get a chance to meet with them at one of our COW meetings and asked a lot of questions. It sounds like communication is very clear and straightforward. Does anybody have anything to comment on it?
I mean, I just second that. It seemed very transparent and very clear, much more than we've had before.
And I appreciate you looking over everything, but tonight we're gonna vote on the contract, so if we were gonna change it, we would have to postpone the, approving, like, we would have to postpone voting on it, or we would have to have that information ahead of time. So we're ready to move on? Okay, agenda, course catalog.
That's me. Okay, so when I was discussing the projection of going into virtual world in the future, like what next year looks like, what it's gonna look like in the future, the next school year, we have closely, thankfully, Amber Couch, who is our high school counselor, secretary, also my teammate in the admin office, and then Bethany Stanton, our high school counselor, have really lifted and leveraged and been carrying our virtual capacity. So through that, we've had conversations about, okay, we've got classes with this vendor, we've got classes with this vendor, we've got them with this one. How can we get some alignment? And then let's do some digging on what we're paying, since it's new. And we set up a few meetings, and Edmentum was one of the vendors that we met with, and we were able to save and get more electives, which is what we were looking for, to save a ton of money. So we are going to actually move our virtual courses, with your approval, to Edmentum from Edgenuity. We would be spending $23,000 next year just for our courses, and then another additional $5,000 for the electives that we're interested in having. And Edmentum offers that, and they're significantly cheaper. The entire county uses them. I used them when I was at Berkeley for our alt-ed high school there, and then we've had students prefer Edmentum actually, and it is more rigorous. Mrs. Stan did some investigating on that, so we're just really happy to be able to know that what we want is significantly cheaper. So we have the course catalog. All of the things are the same. There's nothing missing there. It's more of a benefit than anything. We still do need to stay with Michigan Virtual Academy for some of our AP and more rigorous classes for those students that are on maybe a pathway that's different than everybody else.
Beautiful.
Thank you for being so proactive and looking into that and saving the district money. Next up, we have teacher classroom needs.
I just mentioned that a little bit in my superintendent update, that we are looking at our scheduling currently. We see that we've got a course that's open at the high school in social studies. We've got a teacher that was teaching elective here, but they're social studies certified. So how do we get them to bounce so that we're not hiring a brand new teacher or a full teacher for one course? We're just looking at those things right now. We're looking at our numbers of class sizes so that we are being very smart to continue growth of enrollment while not capping us off at 28 kids a classroom and not be able to accept any more students. So we're just, administration's having a close look at that.
Next up, we have K through 12 MTSS Director, Virtual Program Administrator.
So you recall that our administration team is 3 principals and myself. We have grown tremendously the last 2 years in virtual programming, and we have a lot of work around MTSS that we're wanting to do. Teresa was doing a lot of that work through the curriculum director role. She is rocking it as a high school principal and curriculum director. We're really wanting to leverage the MTSS portion, which is our data digs, our professional development. So through some strategic financing research, I guess, with Philip and the team, we were able to find some grant funds that we're able to create this position with. There will be general funds as well, but we're looking to really do more with math. We received a grant to be able to purchase IXL, and we want to implement that wisely next year, not just, hey, teachers, here's a login, you know, go do the best that you can. We want to provide support in that, and so we're trying to find somebody to help us leverage that work. Also, with the virtual programming, we need an administrator to manage that. Teresa and I are sitting in many, many meetings holding students in the virtual world platform accountable, which is fine, but we know that if we grow, we need to find another teammate. Jessica, you're up. Any questions with that position? You do have the job description in here. I think we weren't able to get that to you super soon, but the main points are STEAM alignment, or K-12, virtual programming, and then math/MTSS implementation around the district.
I did have one quick question, sorry. You said that it's grant funded and general funds?
Mm-hmm.
How long do we have the grant funding for? Just for 1 year?
Those are 31A funds, and so we were able to, we had a position that we didn't refill this year, and we're planning on not refilling it next year, and so that's a chunk of money. We have professional development that we use through KRESA, people that come in and support us. I've got lots of people in district that know how to do some great trainings, we can use them. And then there was we had a little bit of carryover as well. So we're not anticipating a huge bonk in 31A, so something that we can definitely prioritize, which we need to prioritize.
I was just curious as to how that worked out.
Thank you.
It's roughly 70% for that.
I think that would be great for helping us, gotta shake it, marketing, you know, some of the homeschool partnerships and stuff that we want to do. So again, thank you. Next up we have communications. Public participant, so if you would like to talk, you get 3 minutes. Diana Shoup's gonna have the timer on, and please state for the record your name. First up, we have Becky Norla. Norla. You have to come up here and turn the microphone on. I'm making everybody speak in it tonight.
Okay. I'm one of the bus drivers.
You have to turn it on, please.
It's on, but you just need to hold it.
You should just be able to hold it.
Yes.
I'm one of the bus drivers for our district, and we are very happy to hopefully that you vote for the new person to work for, people to work for, because it's been really unbearable this year. But one of the things is respect and dignity. We are proud of the work we do every day, getting students to and from school safely. What we hope for in a new transportation partner is to be trusted with dignity and respect, to be valued as professionals who play an important role in this district and these students' lives.
Thank you. Next up, we have Ken Norla. Did you want to talk?
You should have just brought on the mic, Becky.
Make him walk.
I'm married to her. I've got two statements. The first one regards communication. We as the bus drivers would like to see clear, timely communication. We think that's critical with both drivers, schools, and families. We're hopeful that a new company will prioritize consistent communication so expectations are clear and everyone is informed when issues arise. The second statement has to do with stability and reliability for students. Most of all, we want stability. We want reliable routes, fewer cancellations, and clear expectations. When drivers are supported, students and families benefit. We are hopeful this new partnership creates consistency for everyone involved. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Bill. Please state your name for the record, because I'm not going to pronounce your last name. Janaski?
Check yourself, Bill.
Chinsinski. Thank you.
Fun name.
This is on the side. I just have a small statement. What we're looking for is some strong, respectful leadership. We hope for leadership that listens, communicates, and clearly treats drivers with professionalism. A positive working environment helps us do our job better and serve the students well. And we sure would like a change.
Thank you. Next up, we have Walter Warner.
Oh, boy.
Walt, sorry. You guys are a tough crowd.
You're gonna get it.
Oh, I guess.
Yeah. I really don't have an awful lot, other than, from what I've seen, I kind of like, as far as the contract, different things. I think that would be a good idea to take a little pressure off the superintendent. I mean, because she's been pretty hard going all year long, so I think a little bit of change would do her some good and for the community too. Thank you.
Thank you, Walt. Casey
Mike
Buckner. At least I got 3 names right.
It's just us.
You're gonna mic drop it too?
Alright, good. Is this
Gonna pressure it
Green
again.
light. Then hold it.
There you go.
Good evening. My name is Casey Buckner, and I'm a parent with children in every school within this district. I have 2 in the primary, 3 in the middle school, and 1 in the high school. Over time, I've experienced ongoing issues and with communication, professionalism, and consistency from the bus garage office. What concerns me most is what appears to be a conflict of interest, specifically involving office staff and family members who was employed in a bus as a bus driver and a office manager. Situations like this arise valid questions about fairness and whether all students and families are being treated equally. This is not just about my children. This is about everybody within the district. This is about a pattern of behaviors that reflect a lack of professionalism, consistency, and accountability, qualities that are essential when overseeing the safety and well-being of our children. As you consider renewing this contract, I urge you to take a closer look at the leadership within the bus garage office. Our district deserves leadership that is fair, transparent, aligned with the mission to support and protect all children, not just some. It is time to address these concerns and ensure that our transportation department is held to the same standards of integrity and accountability that we expect across the rest of the district. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good job, thank you.
Amen.
No mic drop.
Okay. Business items for decision. First, we have the high school elective proposal. I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the following high school elective courses: 2-dimensional art, 3-dimensional art, advanced art, meteorology and climatology, intro to behavioral health sciences, abnormal behavioral health, mythology, and PALS, as presented.
I'll support.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Davidson,
Yes.
Duke,
Yes.
Gillette,
Yes.
Smeltzer,
Yep.
Horsey,
Yes.
Wilkes,
Yes.
Everstein.
Yes. Motion carries 7-0. Next up, we have adoption of policies. I would entertain a motion.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Sorry, guys. I'd like to make a motion to approve the adoption and/or adoption of updates to the following board policies: PO 1422, PO 1623, PO 2260, PO 2260.01, PO 3122, PO 3123, PO 4122, PO 4123, PO 0100, PO 1410, PO 2370.01, PO 2417, PO 2418, PO 4210, PO 5136, PO 5336, PO 6320, PO 6325, PO 7540.09, PO 8120.09, PO 8402, PO 8655 as presented.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Corsi?
Yes.
Wiltz?
Yes.
Gillette?
Yes.
Smeltzer?
Yes.
Davidson?
Yes.
Shu?
Yes.
Everstein?
Yes, motion carries 7-0.
Thank you, Sarah, for all of that. Thank you. She's helped me tons. Thank you.
Rescinding of policies. I would entertain a motion.
Okay, motion to approve the rescission of the following board policies. PO 1422.02, PO 1662, PO 3122.02, PO 3362, PO 4122.02, PO 4362, PO 3120.09, and PO 4120.09.
I'll support.
Roll call vote, please.
Wiltz?
Yes.
Gillette?
Yes.
Smeltzer?
Yep.
Davidson?
Yes.
Shu?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Everstein?
Yes, motion passes 7-0. Transportation agreement. I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to the agreement for pupil transportation services with Michigan Education Transportation Services Incorporated, METS, as presented.
I'll support.
Any further discussion? I, for one, think that this will move the district in a positive direction. And I want to thank everybody that was involved in taking the time to do this. Roll call vote, please.
Shu?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Gillette?
Yes.
Smeltzer?
Yes.
Wiltz?
Yes.
Davidson?
Yes.
Everstein?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Okay, addendum course catalog. I would entertain a motion.
Motion to approve Edmentum's course catalog for 6 through 12 virtual programming.
I'll support.
All right, any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Davidson?
Yes.
Wiltz?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Gillette?
Yes.
Shu?
Yes.
Smeltzer?
Yes.
Everstein?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. K-12 MTSS Director, Virtual Programming Administrator. I would entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the creation of a new position, K-12 MTSS Director / Virtual Programming Administrator.
I'll support.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Smeltzer?
Yes.
Davidson?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Wiltz?
Yes.
Gillette?
Yes.
Shu?
Yes.
Everstein?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Next, we have communications, board comments. Ms. Corsi, do you have anything?
I'm just happy for the people in the crowd.
Sue?
Things are rocking in the spring and we're making it happen. And we have 2 weeks plus a little. We got this.
Ms. Wilkes?
For voting. Vote.
Final band concert for the high school is Wednesday, May 6th, following the foundation award ceremony. So very important, 2 great things in the district. So yeah, show up.
Sarah?
I just want to thank all the bus drivers for everything you do, because I couldn't get up that early to do it, so thank you. And I'm just happy to help out with the policies, and I learned a lot in the last few days on it, so that was exciting for me, and hopefully it's smoother sailing for all of us going forward.
You've done a great job.
I noticed on the student survey that the response to question 3, how much do you feel the school improved overall this year compared to last, was 2.6 out of 5. And I'm just curious, were those responses written as to?
We can ask the student
I'd just be
council.
curious in seeing what they were. And so if they were turned in writing and you could provide, I'd just be curious. If not, it might be interesting, because that's not a great score, and it might be worth redoing to find out why.
Well, can I talk for now? One thing we talked about is we're really trying to increase the rigor for students and really focus on academics. So kind of cut some of the fluff and really create opportunities for our kids to compete in the market when they leave here. And so I think some of the things they talked about was having more fun, which is great, but we're also trying to minimize distractions from the classroom. So I think there's a healthy balance that we can be in communication with them. Because when we talked about, they presented to me first, they were asking like, we just want more pep assemblies, which we all know are super fun, but also take from education too. A little balance.
Yeah.
I just want to say how great it was to be able to watch a football game on our field the other day, this weekend. So the ladies team here in Kalamazoo, the Kalamazoo Bears, played. Did you growl?
I just did, I'm so sorry.
It's just really cool to see how the entire community can come together and we can utilize our field for that, for different stuff. So I mean, it's just a great investment in the community and the future and other things that are going on in our township and county. So it's really cool.
Thank you for sharing that, because I did not know that happened. It's exciting. So I'd like to thank Sarah for all of her hard work on the policies and for making the motion for us tonight. I would like to thank all the drivers for coming out tonight and parents for putting up with me, for misspeaking your name. I would like to thank Dr. Newton for all of her hard work. We are very lucky to have you, and the rest of the board for being here tonight. That's all I've got. Handing it over to you.
I just want to say thank you to the board for just being supportive in all things. It is a very busy time of year, and I do my best. I do my best to be in communication with you, but each time I reach out to all of you, you guys are a helping hand and help me take on the load, and I'm just very grateful for that, so thank you.
Okay, I'd like to add to my thank you list these two right here. They're wonderful. And I'll adjourn the meeting at 7:33.
And the person behind us.